Hi there, it's Karen here. Welcome back, and today we're going to be working in our 1950s journal. I need to start putting things in the pockets. I think we need to start bringing this journal to a close. I've been working on it for a few weeks now, and I've got a whole box full of ephemera, some that came from the various kits that I've got, tags and journal cards, and also some that I've made. So I thought, well, we'll have a look at what we can get in the journal, and then I've got two masterboards ready to make things where we've got pockets with nothing in it. So we'll see what we need to make. And as you can see, I've added some coordinating seam binding for my closure. I thought it was about time I put something on to make the closure, and I thought this went really well with the colours, so that's what I've used. And we're just going to open that up. It comes kind of right out the one side, so it's not going to be flapping about too much. So let's just go through and see what we need to add. I'm still loving this that we did last week. I really love that. Really pleased how that turned out. So let's just start working through, finding pockets and seeing what we can put in them. So we need to pull that out. And we have our little fabric pocket here. So let's have a look. We've got a few tags. Now this one is from, so I've got the names of the various kits. I've got so many kits that I'm using, I have trouble remembering them all. This is from Just Digital Papers, that's the Etsy shop, and it's called Pretty Fifties. So this was part 1 and part 2. So part 1 I think was the papers and part 2 is the ephemera. I'm thinking that might go. Obviously it will need a bit of decoration and possibly some backing as well. So I've got one or two of those. I've got, oh, this is quite pretty. This is the same kit, and that's a journal card, and I rather like that in there actually. So I think it's actually like it's crowded in. All the bits of ephemera that came with the kit have all been sort of collaged onto here, onto this tag, and I think it just brings it all together. That's rather nice. I like that. But I do need to back it, especially as I've clearly used a piece of some of the Mirage paper that I used for one of the Moroccan journals. Must have used some paper that, I don't know, went a bit wrong, and printed on the back of that. So I'm just going to trim off this little bit here that's sticking out. But I kind of like the bits that's sticking out on there. So I'm just going to back around. Let's get some paper out, shall we? And let's just start adding things in. I don't think this needs any actual further decoration. I think that's just quite fun as it is. So I've got some of my backing scraps. Nope. Oh, that's no good. I need something bigger. It's a bit thin. That might work. Not a scrap, but that doesn't matter. It soon will be. I've got some coffee dyed paper there. Any smaller pieces. I might pull some of this out because some of these pieces might need backing, but maybe nothing too thick. And maybe that will work on this one. Actually, I've got a piece of that. Maybe even some packaging. So I'll just have pull a few pieces out ready to use. Okay, so put this aside. Right, so I thought I'd use a piece of this sewing pattern paper because it will add a bit of actually I've forgotten about the pattern on the back. So quickly we forget. So that's not going to work. So I think I'll use a piece of this coffee dye paper. And I don't want it to cover a little bit of that's sticking out here. So let's just get my ruler. And just glue this on. What am I looking for? As you can probably tell, I'm now back in my craft room, at least for the moment. And thank you for those of you who've said the sound was okay. Doing the video in the kitchen, it didn't sound too bad when I was editing it, but when I was doing it, I wasn't sure how it would come across. So thank you for those of you who said it. You know, you're okay with it. And if I need to, I will go back down there. But of course, crafting in the kitchen's not ideal because we need to use it for eating in and other necessary things that we do in the kitchen, food preparation, all that kind of stuff. So it's not ideal for me to have all my stuff all over the kitchen table. And I've got picked up a bit of the magazine there, so that's not good. Won't use that again. So as the weather has just cooled a touch, quite a few degrees actually, it's come down a bit. So it's still nice and pleasant out and warm, but it's not as stifling as it was last week. Right, scissors, and just try and trim this off a bit. Made it a bit long. So yeah, so I should probably be going backwards and forwards as the weather changes, because it's still seem quite early to have such warm weather. I don't really expect that kind of heat until maybe July or August. So to get it in June was unusual. So we are still sleeping downstairs, though I think we might try and come back up to our main bedroom tonight, just because it is that little bit cooler, and it's always nicer to be in your own room. But the room downstairs worked quite well. In some ways, it's quite nice to just all be downstairs and living like as that, you know, as having it like we're living in a bungalow, because it is a sort of bungalow. But it means I have to keep coming upstairs for my clothes. It's around those bottom corners. So it's like I'm using my bedroom as my dressing room. I'm using the downstairs room as the sleeping room. Well, that's not very good. It's all a bit not cut very straight there. Okay. Okay, so I'm just going to just round that on that corner bit. Now we just need to ink around it. And that should go in there nicely. Right, so get rid of that piece of paper. Too gluey. And we'll just put this in the little pocket. I rather like that there. I think it looks quite fun. And then we'll just close that up. And we just need to slide something into this tuck spot here, don't we? Right, let's see what we've got. It needs to be not too wide, long, so I'm thinking some sort of tag. Maybe something like this. Will that go on there? Got a couple of potential options that might go better. What else have we got? Got a few. I've got some here from the kit. So let's have a look. These are a couple that I made and this one didn't end up having anything else on it. I tell you what I do want to do though, which I forgot. I want to sew around these. I think they will look so much better when they're sewn around. So I've got this one, and this one. I know I intended to sew around them. Oh, I've got another one here. I'm just going to quickly go and do that. I think I want to go and sew around these because I think they will be finished. This will need some sort of focal point. This one doesn't, this one doesn't. Not sure. This one might need something small because we have got this little cutie on here. I don't want to cover him up. So I'll be right back when I've just sewn around these tags and have a quick look if there's anything else that needs it. I don't think there is at the moment. Alright, I'll be right back. Right, they're all sewn around now. Those two are all ready to go. So they're finished and they're all inked. And I think they look a lot better for having that bit of sewing around the edges. So these two just need a little bit of something extra on them. So this is the one I think will fit best in this spot here because it's actually quite a narrow space. This one, because it's only on a short page, and I think the others are going to be a bit close to the edge, and I like the colours on here. So I want to just give it a bit of a focal point. And I did tear out quite a few images from the magazines, the 50s magazines that I had, and I've got these two. And I thought maybe one of these ladies would work on here. I'm just going to tear them down, or tear one of them down, I think. Let's just use my smaller ruler. Because we've got the pink rose here, I think she might work quite well. We'll see how she looks when I've got her just torn down to size a bit. I don't need this bit saying roses at the bottom. I think that maybe that's something to do with the, I don't know if it's to do with Cadbury's roses. I can't remember if that's where it came from. I'm just going to tear her down. Hope I've got that straight. Probably not, but I'm going to go with it. Let's see. Straightish. See how that looks on here. She fits rather nicely with that bit of pink here picking up the colour. I don't know that this will go. I don't want to tear her down too much because I might need her to be a bit wider on another tag. Which looks quite nice on there as well. Let's see. If I just lay it on there, let's just see how it looks. Behind this tuck spot. I'm just going to see that little bit of her dress poking out. I don't have a problem with that. I think that will be okay. I think I might put that there. I might just bring it up. Just put it there. Do I want to ink around it? Maybe just lightly, just so that there's no white showing, that's all. Just get rid of... I don't want it to look very inked. Just want to right on the edge. Glue this on. Just wondering what to do as a little topper. Down there. Very nice. Just a little something up here. I'm just wondering what I've got. Maybe a little bit of fabric would work. Got these bits in here. Don't know if I've got something that would finish it off. It's picking up that bit of pink, which, oh, I wanted to print off another one of these of the feed sack scraps that I've got from Gail Agostinelli. I've got one that's got pink in it, so I might have to do that afterwards and add my bit of pink afterwards, because I do think that would look rather nice, having a bit of, maybe a bit of that feed sack at the top there, but I haven't printed it off yet, so I'll have to come back to that and do that later. So we'll put her in here. Okay. Yep, sorry, I was just checking I was filming. Always worries me when I've turned the camera off to do something, whether I've turned it back on, because sometimes I forget. Okay, move on. Oh, already we've got another pocket here. And I'm just wondering what I've got to go in here. So I do have some of these, excuse me, journal cards from, not journal cards, tags from Joey the Cardmaker. 50s, I rather like this one actually, I think, for the colours. I think that one would go in there rather nicely. So let's do that. I think that works very well with the colours. So we'll back it. This one I think I will use the sewing pattern paper. It's just on white, and again I don't want it to be super thick, so let's just, best thing to do is put the glue on here, I think. And add a bit of sewing pattern. So useful. I always forget I've got this. It's so good for giving a vintage look to a piece of paper without adding any sort of bulk to it. And cut that there. Alright, so I just got that bit of pattern on the back there. I just need to punch that hole as it's on the design. I might even put a, oh, sorry, put that along to the hole punch bit. And maybe I'll put a, I don't think it actually needs an eyelet, because you've got the appearance of an eyelet there, so I don't think it needs it. I just want to see if I can find an image to go on here. Right, let's just get my book book of vintage ladies, 50s ladies. Lost track which ones I've used and which ones I haven't. I wonder if that will blend in too much. Very much the same colours. It's an option. I think I will need to back whichever one I choose anyway with a bit of book page just to make it stand out. I don't think these three ladies are going to fit, or are they? Oh, they're a bit different. I rather like them. They're a bit more, they stand out a bit more, don't they? Of course they're going to need to be cut out. Isn't it always the way? So I'll just do that. I'll be cutting these out. I've got lots of little fiddly bits to do as well, but I think they would look quite good on there, so I think I'm going to have to just do it. So bear with and I'll speed you up. Okay, a little bit on the fiddly side, lots of little areas that needed to be cut out first. I usually do those first before I go around the outside, just because it's a bit easier when you've got a bit more to grab hold of. Let's just get this last little bit off. Let's see how they look on there. Do they need anything to back them? I'm not sure they do, because they're quite bright. I rather like them on there. I don't know if I need anything. Let's just have a look, see if there's anything. This tickets on sale for Lions for March 19 to 20 at Lions Music Salon. Do you think they'd be going to get tickets for that? They could be. That's platform ticket. Oops, I forgot it. This one says price 75 cents for show and dance. I think that's a bit distracting behind there. I need something, if I'm going to put something behind them, it's got to be something that will enhance, not, what's the word? I just said it and I can't remember it. Distract, that's the word. So, something like that maybe, or maybe nothing, I'm not sure. That's too big anyway. No, I don't think it needs anything. I'm just going to put them on as they are. I just ink around, just give them a little bit of an ink to see if but they're so delicate, I'm not sure much it's actually going to make any difference doing a little bit of this. Just trying to get rid of any sign of white edges if I can. Okay, I'm just going to go with that. Pop it on. Maybe I put a little something. I've got to put something through the hole, haven't I? I think I might try and see if I can find a little something to slip beneath the feet. So I haven't glued right down to the bottom. I might put a little something underneath. To act as a bit of a platform, maybe. I don't know. I was struggling to find the book I wanted, and that was because I had still left the four that I took to my retreat. I'd still left them in my craft trolley. So I've retrieved them now. So I've got my Tracy Fox and my Shabba Dabba Doodah labels, and I've just fished this little red one out because I thought that will pick up the red in those ladies' dresses. And I've just trying to decide, do I want a little bit of book page as well? Just no, I don't. No, I do not. So, oh no, I can't stick that down because this isn't stuck down yet, is it? So I'm just going to glue this ticket piece down, then I need to glue their legs down as well, right at the bottom, or their feet. Oop. Got a dingly dangly thingy sticking out. Right, so I can pop that under here. There we are. Just pop those under there. Just makes them look like they're not floating around mid-air, doesn't it? Just gives them a little bit of something to stand on. Glue the feet down. There we are. And then I think I'm just going to pop this little label, just a little red label. The bottom, I think it's on sticker paper, but I could be wrong. Am I wrong? Yeah, I might be. Maybe it's not sticker paper. I just felt like it was. I know I did print a lot of these Tracy Fox labels on sticker paper. Yes, I did. Sometimes you just can't quite get the edge up. Just pop that down there. Oh, we need to pop something through the top. What should we use? See if I can find a bit of random twine. I've got a little box of indie bits of twine scraps. I thought I might be able to, bits of string, a bit of baker's twine. Well, that would go with the red idea, wouldn't it? There's not really a lot of red in this journal. I just wonder if that will work. I think I might try it. See how it looks. Let's have a look, see what it looks like in the journal. Let's put these out the way. pop that in there. So got that bit of red, but we've got these little flowers here which may or may not be red, but we've got red on here. I'm just going to go with that. That's good, like that. Let's move on. So we've got a tuck spot here. I really like this, I don't know why, I just do. Let's put these tiny scraps out of the way for a minute. Maybe we'll need them again. I think this is more of a journal card rather than a... I wonder, just thinking this lady would go rather well in this spot if I can find something to pop her on. Now there's this large journal card that comes with one of the kits. It comes with the Pretty 50s kit by Just Digital Papers. So I think it's almost too big, and she's going to disappear on there, isn't she, a little bit? It's going to be... It is pretty large. I don't know if this will fit in this journal. I don't know if I've got some undecorated, I've got this journal card here. Would she go on there? She might do actually. Let's see how that fits. Would that fit? Ooh, it's a bit tight. It's going to be a bit big. What else have I got? Have I got another one that's a bit smaller? Similar size. I may have to break into my masterboards if I haven't. I thought I had a couple that were unfinished that I might be able to decorate. Here's no, not that one. Not that one. That's interesting. Where'd it go? I could have sworn there were two, but apparently there's only the one, and I think it's a bit too big. I don't really want to cut it down at the moment. So let's try and make ourselves one. Right, I've got my masterboards flattening under the mat, so I want to find a piece. It's a bit crinkly wrinkly, this one. I wonder if that... Okay. I'm going to bring in my trimmer if I can reach it. Right. I've got to measure it, so I'll do it upside down to get the side I want. Okay, let's put that over there. Let's put that over there as well. Now, size. I just need to measure how wide I need it to be. I'm just over to the side. I don't think I want it any wider really than 3.5 inches. Now, how wide is my image? Not quite 3. So if I make this 3.5 wide, that should fit, hopefully. And there's a bit more. There's the rest of the masterboard. It's got a lot of papers from these kits in it, but lots of other bits as well that coordinate, just so that... I don't like this bit, that's the trouble. Maybe I can cover it up. Or maybe I don't need that bit. Oh, it's got the same as the backing paper on that bit. Maybe I need to go up the top. No. I've got this ridgy bit here, but it doesn't affect the back, so if we can cover that up, let's see. Let's see if I can use this piece. It's about the one bit I didn't really want to use. How tall do I want this to be? No more than 5. No more than 5 inches, maybe even a little less. Pieces there. Both of them would work, I think. That was just my trimmer falling on the floor because I didn't do a very good job of putting it in its box. Okay, let's just see which piece looks better here. I'm a bit concerned that this is too matching, but I might put something on there. Blends in a bit, doesn't it? There's that piece, or there's this piece. I like that bit better. Alright, let's go with that. If I put it over there and don't trim this off, I can cover up the lumpy bit on there, I hope. And then I might put a bit of some sort of trim. Okay, first of all, I'm going to round the corners. Nope, that one. And I will sew around this as well, but I'll do that after I've finished. I didn't do a terribly good job of gluing some of these pieces on. I was using, as my substrate, it was an idea I saw on YouTube, using, if any of you get medication as much as I do, you always get that little sheet inside the medication telling you all about it, and they pull out and you get this massive piece of paper, on a lot of them anyway. And she said they're really useful for making masterboards with, and I thought it was a great idea. And I did use it, and I've got this plus the other piece. I had to cut it in half because it was so big, just from one piece of paper. So it's kind of quite a handy thing, but because it's so thin, I think it's not glued on. But I think the problem was I should have probably ironed the paper before I started, so it was a bit creased. I didn't really do a very good job on it. So let's see if we can just cover up all the lumpy bits. I think I'm going to just do a little, just round her corners as well. So thin, this paper, it's not punching brilliantly. So this time I'm going to use the whole piece. That's why I'm glad I didn't cut it down to see if it would go on that other piece I was doing, on the narrow tag, because really I needed all of this piece on here. Yeah. And yeah, I'm happy with that. I'm going to glue that on, and then I'm going to put a bit of something down the which edge? Probably on the outer edge, I guess. Don't know. Glue. Or should I tuck it underneath? let me just see what I've got. I might want to tuck it underneath rather than put it over the top. Bear with, I'll be back. Right, so I thought I had some pale green lace, and I did, and I thought that would possibly look rather nice down the side, because that's the bit that's going to stick out this side. So I thought maybe a bit of lace down the side of there. And also I've got this green rickrack, which is a deeper green, but actually tones in very well with the dress. And I think I might just put that down the middle as well. I like that, I think. So that's what I think I'll do. So I can glue her on. I wasn't sure if I needed to tuck it under or not, but I think I will put it over the top on that edge. And let's just glue her on. So I'm not really sure how long I've been filming, because I keep forgetting to turn my timer off when I pause. So yeah, I've completely lost track. So I feel like I've been filming a fair while. So I may have to make this I was going to make sure that I covered up that funny little ridge if I left it too late. Come up, come up, come up. I just need to move it down just a little. Cover up the ridge on the card. It may not be so obvious on camera, I really don't know, but it's pretty obvious to me, this horrible ridge where I didn't glue very well. And let's just put the bit of lace down this side. Don't mind if it sticks out just a little bit at the side. Such a pretty colour, this. Sometimes I have these laces and I think, oh, it's so pretty, but I have no idea where I got it, because I just buy bits of lace whenever I see it. Sometimes it's not local, I just happen to be somewhere, and maybe I'll call into a little shop and see some lace. I think I've learnt nowadays, if I do that, I know I won't have a chance to buy any more. I buy it in largish quantities. If I'm buying it locally, I might only get a metre or two. And then I'm going to put this bit of rickrack down the middle, and I like that. Just gives it a little slightly deeper pop of colour. And I've got a thought about something else I now want to add. Let's cut that there. And I think I might need to use not that one, use my fabric glue. Ooh. It's just, it's dwindling down. I did have a wet wipe lurking around somewhere, but I don't know where it is. Look. Yuck, yuck, yuck. It's good glue, but I hate using it because it just... I think for all of us, glue is the bane of our lives, isn't it? Glue and printers. The necessary evils. But they are sent to try us. Okay. I had it out ready. It's almost dry because it's so warm. I mean, it's not so warm that I'm uncomfortable, but it's still quite warm. And this this wet wipe is not very wet anymore. Hasn't been out very long. Right, I've got a little something extra I want now. I've still got a lot of my bits and pieces in the pouches that I packed for my retreat, and I thought, have I got, yes I have, I've got some bits in here, but have I got the right colour? And I might not have actually. How many colours did I bring? I wanted to put one of these little roses, but I think this is too pink. I think I need to go on the more peachy colour, because that's the colour of the page. Just a moment, I've got them here somewhere. In my little box, and I have got some that are more on the peachy colour side of pink rather than the bright pink. So let's, and I think that will pick up the colour in her dress. Ooh. I didn't realise they were all different colours as you go along. I wanted 3, but they're very, well, they are pretty close in colour actually, aren't they? Let's just see how that looks. I don't want that bit. That looks a bit weird. That green bit. Probably should have left that. Right, how does that look up there? Or would I be better off with a brighter one? I think that one's okay. Let's put that back in there. Mustn't forget I have those. They do give little finishing touches that I really like. Okay. Can't figure out which is the front and which is the back. No, I think that is the front. That is better on that side. Okay. Right, I think what I need to do before I glue this on, I'm going to sew around it because it needs to be sewn around, and this should go on afterwards. So I think I'll go and do that. We'll come and finish this off, and then I think that will have to be it for today. So I will be back again. Okay, so you probably can't see, but I have done a zigzag stitch all around those 3 sides, and then just a straight stitch up the side. Got bits of clippings on there. So I'm just going to pop this little trim on here now. Oh, what's that doing on there? That's not supposed to be on there. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm putting my pins in the wrong bottles here. So that one goes in there. I can get it in the hole. There we are. And that one goes on there. Get them all mixed up. Put this little group of 3. Whoop! Don't do it over the card, then if you drop it you're not gonna... Whoop! There we go. It's coming out all of a rush. Okay, that's going to pop on there. And then I thought I'd just cover up this word because I didn't think it made a lot of sense, just have roses on there with the exclamation mark. So I'd forgotten, I'd done some stamping of some words that would work in this journal. So I've got this one on just some old book page, I think, chic. So I thought I might tuck that in there because I think she's looking very chic, and that would work just under there. So if only the glue would come out. Okay. Just gonna slide that under there. That's it. Nice, just a little word, chic. I think that just finishes it off. There we are. So let's put that in the journal. Right, let's see how this looks in its little tuck spot. I am really pleased how that's turned out. We've got this green here around this dinner menu, which she looks like she could be dressed up for, and it picks up the colour, the card and the green there. That all works really well together. I think that I'm really pleased how that turns out, and it looks lovely there. Great. So yeah, I've seemed to have not achieved much, but taking a long time over it. So what have we done? We've put this little journal card in here and backed it, and then on this side we've got this tuck spot here, this journal card here tucked behind here. Just needs a little something at the top, not quite sure what yet. Then we decorated up this tag from Jerry Cardmaker, and that's tucked in there, and I really like that in there. And then we've done this journal card here from the masterboard, and that's my favourite. I love how that's turned out. I really do. I love those colours. So that's it. That was it today. Sorry that we haven't got very far, but we'll keep working on it. I might do a little bit of work off camera to do, perhaps cut up a few more journal cards and things ready to go in, just so that we can maybe work a little bit faster and smarter next time. We'll see. So thank you very much for joining me. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I will see you again soon, very soon. Bye for now.